Hi, this is Larry Hankin, and you're listening to the Three Geeks podcast, and I'm on the Three Geeks podcast. Also, go to thereallarryhankin.com. You see these paintings? You can get them on a t-shirt.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Three Geeks podcast. I've been listening to our podcast so much the last few weeks, just trying to catch mistakes and things I think we can work on, that I was waiting for myself to come on and say, welcome to the Three Geeks podcast. Like I was almost in fan mode as opposed to...
Just watching the magic happen.
I
JT,
will say something real quick at the beginning of this podcast. We have parted ways with Redline. Nothing personal. We're big fans of what they do over there. Just Max and I decided we wanted to try to grow this thing a little bit more on our own and put our fans out there. So nothing but love for those guys. Keep supporting them. Show them love. Thanks for everything that they did for us. But we're not here about that. We are here because we're nerds and we watched some movies this week. Some good, some bad.
All the new movies. Oh my god. It almost feels like 2019.
After 3 years of Hell and Dan to watch a certain television series he has, so I can't wait to find out what he thought of season 1 of Cobra Kai, and so much cool fun stuff to get to. But first, some sad news. I'm going to send it on over to Mike.
Well, this past weekend, or the start of this weekend, we lost the tremendous talent that is Mr. Chadwick Boseman. Probably everyone around the world probably best knows him as T'Challa, aka Black Panther. And again, I just want to say, like, it's always kind of a gut punch for a lot of fans, but also a lot of people who respect the art of filmmaking or the art of acting when such a quality actor is lost, especially at such a young age. He was 43 and ended up succumbing to colon cancer. So we wish nothing but the best for his family and friends, anyone who worked with him, and that opportunity left an impression with them, and to as many fans, which we include ourselves in, I'm sure. I think it goes without saying amongst our fellow Three Geeks here. I just want to say, like, he didn't have a decade-spanning career, but he was able to encapsulate such a breadth of quality work in just a short amount of time that I feel it's going to be a legacy on its own because of the impact he had in not just portraying, such a prominent Black superhero such as Black Panther, but also many iconic roles of people throughout history, throughout Black history, such as Jackie Robinson, such as Thurgood Marshall and James Brown. I know some other people on the cast might have something more to say to that effect, but I just wanted to kind of wrap up with this in saying that I know a lot of things coming out this weekend in response to it pertain more to like how he didn't reveal what he was going through for 4 years. He was diagnosed in 2016. He churned out Civil War. He churned out Black Panther, both Infinity War movie, Infinity War and Endgame, Defy Bloods, which is on Netflix right now, 21 Bridges, which he collaborated with the Russo brothers on again, Marshall, and it's just astounding how not only was he able to have such a prolific impact on those he worked with, but also how he was able to kind of keep his personal life and his professional life separate. Like his whole team was tight-lipped on his diagnosis and what he was going through at the time. And I'd like to think personally that he did that more so not just because it's no one's business but his, but also because I'd like to think he's one of those actors who is like, you know what? I want people to remember this role for what I brought to it, not because I'm attached to it. For example, like say Tom Cruise. I'm going to put this out here and follow me, guys, because this might get a little out there, but not really. But like Tom Cruise, when you go see a Tom Cruise movie, you go in knowing you're just going to see Tom Cruise doing something, whether it's a sci-fi movie or Mission Impossible. I never think of him as Ethan Hunt in the Mission Impossible movies. He's always just Tom's doing action scenes. And when you go into those movies, you associate not just Tom Cruise with the fact that he's this A-list celebrity, but also all of the baggage that comes with A-list celebrity status, like Scientology, his marriages, all that stuff. You kind of go in knowing that when you get to be like our age and you figure out more how the industry works. Chadwick Boseman was able to keep all that walled away. And it's very much, I feel, not just a testament to how he was able to balance those two parts of his life, but also to what he hopefully wanted to contribute to the craft of acting, which is you're going to remember the characters I portrayed, and hopefully that'll endear you more towards me. And so, Wakanda forever. Hail to the king. Rest well, good sir. Thank you for the quality of your work, more so than the quantity of it. And anyone else want anything else to say?
Chadwick Boseman was just, as far as I could tell, I didn't know the guy personally, but a classy dude. And that's really all you can ask of a person. And it sucks because now we don't have anybody else to play iconic Black historical figures. But it's these things, this happens. It's life. So he will be missed, and like you said, kind of forever. But
and one thing to add on to this before, sorry, John, but if anything, just this should be a signal to anyone our age. Maybe get screened, a little bit earlier, because that dude, he put his body through a lot of like physical endurance. I mean, he looked fabulous, and so again, you never know what people are going through. But if anything, to pass away so young, it's like, you know what? Go the extra mile, get yourself screened early, just in case.
Yeah, that actually, Michael, is what I was going to mention. As this hit home for me because my mom, about 10 years ago, 12 years ago, I think it was, they discovered a cancerous polyp in her colon, had to have it cut out. Thank God she's never had any issues with that. But at the age of 40, I went ahead early and made sure that I got screened real quick. And, because it's something that it's a cancer that no one talks about. It's a forgotten cancer, so to speak. I think over the last couple of years, it's been more discussed in the mainstream media. But for a long time, I mean, I don't think I ever heard about it. Had it not happened to my mom. So I think that's the one. I hate to say good thing, but the one positive maybe coming out of this situation is that men will start thinking about, hey, we need to maybe check ourselves and make sure that everything's good to go. So if you catch it early, it's obviously treatable. And also too, I was absolutely shocked, with keeping this under wraps for as long as he did. I was completely stunned with the news.
I was too. My grandfather had colon cancer. He was able to get past it and, was able to get it cured and treated. But yeah, it's something, especially here in this news, somebody so young, somebody so close to my age, that I think I'm going to do so here very soon as well.
If it was good enough for the King of Wakanda, it's good enough for me.
I don't want to ruin your goals, but getting screened, it's not pleasant. We'll just say it that way. It's not pleasant at all.
Oh man!
But minor discomfort.
Stay healthy. Get yourself checked. I want to before anyone takes my flippant comment. Do the right thing. Yeah, I'm afraid of it. I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to do that. It doesn't sound like fun.
So but yeah, cancer sounds like less fun. So
cancer does.
Thank you, Scott.
True.
That was actually the cancer that killed John Bain, Total Biscuit, the reviewer, if you're familiar with any of his work. And he got it also very young. And he said, they usually don't do screenings that early in age, but, it still happens. So, but they don't recommend you do screenings. So, a little bit later. So, yeah,
Real quick,
get on it early.
to everybody watching us live, please send in your thoughts about Chadwick Boseman. All you have to do is comment below, and we can talk about him. Share some of your favorite memories, favorite movies.
I will say that if you get screened and you don't have cancer, then the screening is less fun than the cancer that you don't have.
Aaron, can I just
better safe than sorry?
Yeah,
I mean, look, you can say that after.
Look, I'll just throw it out there since I've had it done. What sucks is the prep, because you have to take all of this laxative-like stuff to just completely clean you out, and you're not allowed to eat.
I've had it before.
Yeah, it's not fun. At the actual screening, you're KO'd, so it doesn't bother. You're out. So that's not. What sucks is the prep work. The prep work sucks. It's horrible.
I bet it'd be better now that I have all this technology on my phone, because I had it when I was younger. I can just stay in the bathroom.
The bathroom has become much more pleasant in recent years. That's it's less looked at as you're like, oh, now I get to go to the bathroom. That's just alone time that I get with me and my phone. And it's much better than it's like, oh, I gotta bring like a newspaper in there or a magazine or something bulky.
I don't want to read.
I want to read, but like I don't want to have to carry like 800 pounds of paper into the bathroom with it. Like
800 pounds.
The only paper that belongs in the bathroom is the toilet paper. And
like prepping for the SAT or something in there, man.
Once we get to pre-teaching, we're not even worried about that paper anymore.
Anyways, Chadwick Boseman. That was part of Max's stand-up routine. Worked itself in there.
He's practicing. He's ready to get back on the circuit.
No. God, stand-up comedy is brutal. That is the worst. The worst loneliness you'll ever feel in your entire life is telling bad jokes to a stand-up crowd.
Oh, before we move on from this too, it's like I should say, like, the tweet that his account sent out, with regards to like, informing everyone of his passing and so forth, it has become the most liked tweet ever. Like, I think the original holder of that was a Barack Obama tweet, and this one surpassed that by like 4.5 million or something. Sorry, I don't know.
She misses Chadwick Boseman too. She couldn't hold it in.
We all mourn in different ways, okay, guys?
I get.
Mourn in different ways.
Can you guys hear the dog?
Of course.
Yes.
Yes, we can hear the dog.
She's not happy about all of this.
About poor Chadwick. Go get tested, okay? Like, just
take the advice of the dog.
Do they make dogs that can smell prostate cancer yet? Do they train them for that? I know they've like trained dogs to smell like different cancers and diseases.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's like
That a thing?
Yeah.
That's an even worse procedure at this point. I mean,
Yeah. I don't think.
Who says you can't learn anything on the Three Geeks podcast? I just did.
Dogs like sniff that stuff, and then it's like an early prevention.
sorry, I don't know.
Oh,
I'm hearing
goodness.
myself. What's going on?
yeah, this is just really weird.
Sorry, there was an echo because
I'm waiting on Justin to walk down the steps.
I'm passing the show off to John real quick. And
Okay. All right. Well, shall we go ahead and talk about one of the fantastic, and I'll use that term loosely, movies that we watched yesterday? Many of us got the opportunity to go to Rave Theater and check out the New Mutants. So,
Hey.
yeah. Scott, do you want to kick off this absolute
Sure.
slugfest of stupidity?
I've probably been on record as not being a huge fan of the Fox X-Men, and I think that this is only fitting that this was the final Fox X-Men movie ever produced. I think it should have stayed on the shelf where it had been for the last 2 years. I don't know.
Fuck me.
I'm not gonna say it, but anyway, it wasn't good. It wasn't great. I know some people were less upset about it than I was. I guess it was just hard to sit through for me. Like a big thing for me is like dialogue and character interactions, and they were trying to build it on as like an ensemble kind of thing. You know, it's a team, and there's no like real clear main character. I mean, the one chick, Danny, is clearly like the lead, but it's supposed to be, you know, a team movie, kind of like, you know, a sub X-Men, and the character interactions and the dialogue is just so cringy and forced that it just, anytime someone would open their mouth, it just sucked me right out of it. So.
I'll go next because I probably have the most positive review of this movie. This movie's only 92 minutes long.
Wait, we should probably say that there might be spoilers. We might want to preface that.
There's nothing to spoil. Nothing happened.
True. True, Scott.
Spoiler, nothing happened.
Yeah. All right.
Go ahead, Jay.
Okay, so this movie is 93 minutes, I think, and some change. This movie was a fine movie for a 180-minute long movie. Because it feels like you're in the theater for 180 minutes.
If this movie came out in 2000, it would have been one of the greatest superhero movies of all time.
See, I don't even think that's true because
2000s, I'd say 90s for sure. It would have been a grand slam.
The original Ninja Turtles movie came out in 90, and that movie still holds up to this day.
Yeah, but that's a good movie. I'm saying like just for the X-Men movie that this was, like
it would have been on par with the Phantom, is what you're saying.
I think it's better than the Phantom. I don't think it's better than X-Men. You know, like I feel like if it was X-Men, the first Spider-Man, it's like right in there.
I second what Justin said as we were leaving the theater yesterday, that this movie had a good story. It just wasn't executed well. And which is a shame because Max and I were talking about it leaving the theater. This movie had all the talent in it to produce something good, like behind the scenes and front of the scenes.
Dos Vidania, the Russian girl, that's what I call her.
Oh yeah, that was the one. Anya Taylor-Joy was the actress.
Like,
I think.
Why can't you get a Russian girl or
Thank you,
someone who speaks Russian? There's got to be an actress who's good, like, because the actress you got wasn't great. So how come you can't go pay a Russian actress less to do this movie? Like, what is wrong with you people? Why do this? Or just cut the accent. Why have her do the shitty Russian accent?
That's what they did. That's what they did with Colossus.
Issue.
They
should have no accent.
What they did with Elizabeth Olsen and the Avengers franchise.
Accent.
Just get rid of the accent.
No accent. Hunt for Red October. Okay, it doesn't matter. Use your accent. It does not matter.
I mean, you can just get
You're
Sean
right. She should have
Connery.
talked like Sean Connery. Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Dude, you could hire Sean Connery to do her lines and just dub her.
There you go.
Yeah, I think that would be better. That would actually be better, just because, like, okay, Sean Connery, like.
And now he goes by Crazy Ivan.
See, I agree with Max. Here was my problems with the movie. I thought, again, we have the Anna Taylor-Joy doing her bad Russian Bond villain impression. Okay, I know the New Mutants from like the late 80s, early 90s, so I don't know any of these characters. Yet, nothing was explained about them. There was no character development at all. None. I was bored with the entire movie up until the final, like, 5 or 10 minutes where there's actually some action.
It was just loud noises.
Well, true. We use the term action loosely. The plot was muddled. Like, I didn't understand why the Russian girl had the creepy dudes, and like, I didn't get that. I don't understand. I wanted more.
I can actually speak to that.
Okay, what is that, Scott?
What I took away from that was that was like, I figured she had been like molested or abused by her father, because you got all these creepy dudes in like silk shirts and slacks. So those are like a representation of her fear.
Oh, okay.
Of like, because she's like lying in bed, and you see this guy come in. He's got like Russian tats and stuff. Yeah, and I know she's Colossus's sister, I want to say. I don't know too much about her character beyond that, so I don't know if that's her backstory in the comics. she was
I
like
don't know.
abused
Where was
by her
Colossus
dad.
to punch the pedo?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that was my takeaway. I was like, oh,
Okay.
this is like a representation of abuse, and I kind of got on board with that until they were like, well, this is just going to be the generic monster that they have to fight, and there's a bunch of them, and they're all over, and run away. You know,
and she like could teleport to another dimension, and then come back with a badass sword, and I'm like,
that character's name is Magic. She is she is Colossus's sister. I'm not exactly sure about her backstory, like, but what I got from it was more what Scott got from it is that, like, like bad men might like maybe been paying to come see her, you know, and there was a line of them, so like it just seemed like there was always so many. I think that's kind of along the lines of what was going on. And then because you said like when they heard me, it made them smile. So I think that's.
Oh, okay. See, I missed that because I was bored. I was bored out of my mind.
I missed that because I was sleeping.
Again, an interesting premise, very poorly executed. They could have done it to say something cool and deep, and they just were like, "We need a monster, so here we go."
I will give it credit for this. I know that probably by now in 2020 we should expect this, but I maybe will give credit to it. I felt that the love story was done in a pretty, albeit kind of a little bit of a stereotypical way in terms of, oh, we're out here under the stars and now we're going to kiss. I mean, like, we've seen that a million times, but at least, like, okay, we're representing LGBTQ community here. And I was like, well, okay, that's a plus. I mean, that's all I can give you because the rest of the movie's crap.
Is that what's her name? Wolfsbane?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I was. Yeah, that's right.
Real quick, guys, we have a comment in one of our groups on Facebook. It says from Taco Monday Podcast says, "Who's the Penn and Teller looking dude on the upper left corner?" I replied, "Which one?" He said, "Dan." Dan, apparently you look like Penn.
Gillette. I gotta see that.
Cool. Okay.
I see it a little. Okay.
And then we got a comment here
I'll
on
take
Facebook
that.
from Clint that says, "What's up, y'all? Rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman. The fact that he did all these great movies with stage 3 cancer is an inspiration."
Yeah. Agreed.
Yep.
Agreed.
Who do you
I
get
went through it.
Chadwick Boseman in the Chadwick Boseman biopic?
Geez.
Freeman?
Well, you gotta
even
wait
go there
20
yet.
years and then pick somebody.
Yeah.
Let's not go there yet.
Too soon.
Let's keep trashing New Mutants.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of glad I had to work during this because now, you know, I enjoy getting my bad movie, you know, synopses from you guys more than actually seeing the bad movie.
Actually, it's more entertaining. And I know the co-creator had quite a few words about the movie because guess what? They misspelled his name in the credits. So,
nice.
Chad Perkins says New Mutants was released on the back of cereal boxes.
Yep. Makes sense. I mean, here's the thing: is like I read his post about it. He had a lot of issues. His name's it's Bob McLeod, and they spelled his name with MACLEOD instead of MCLEOD. I'm sure that can be fixed, but at the same time, it's what stands is this movie was in development and was on the shelf for 3 years, and no one bothered to like, you know what? Let's proofread this before we release it finally.
Well, that's okay because the producers never read a single damn X-Men comic book.
Yeah,
all their time making X-Men movies.
Oh,
Stan Lee got a producer credit.
What's that?
Stan Lee got a producer credit.
His name was spelled right.
I'm sure he's read an X-Men comic or two.
But no, the big thing was too. Also, the co-creator was like, so Sunspot, he's supposed to be Afro-Brazilian, not white Brazilian, and so, yeah. And there's some people be like, he's Brazilian. Who cares? It's like it's the same race. I'm like, Brazilian is a nationality, not a race. You dumb. It's like, dumb idiots. And the director was like, I don't really care about the racism issue in Brazil. And I'm like, well, that's kind of why the character was created, was to address that. But, you know, whatever. Whitewash.
We're fine.
Clint, I'll add marshmallows to any cereal I please, sir.
I don't know why Maisie Williams why they got her instead of an Irish actress. Like I know she's English. But...
Oh, the doctor, I guess, who's in it. She was originally supposed to be Rosario Dawson.
Interesting.
They went with a Brazilian actress, even though the character is supposed to be Puerto Rican. So it's like all over the board. Whatever.
Well, wait a minute. There are two things about her. One, like I was distracted because she's from that USA show Queen of the South, where she's like the drug queen, and I kept going, she's the drug queen. And the second thing was, seriously, her name is Dr. Reyes, and I kept thinking, Mike, they said Dr. Zayas the first couple times. Like,
yes. Can I play the piano, doctor?
And this movie doesn't come out if coronavirus didn't happen. Let's just be honest. We all know this thing would still be on the shelf if COVID didn't strike.
Yeah, this is the only time to put this movie out.
Yeah.
And have it achieve any. If it was going to achieve any success, now is the only time it has. Just because, yeah, that's
$3 drinks. I'm trying to see if I can pull up the box office for this movie this weekend.
I think, Max, you're onto something. It's the new conspiracy theory for the explanation of coronavirus. It was created by the New Mutants, Marvel, Stan Lee, and 20th Century Fox as a way to boost money returns on this particular film.
Fox made this movie with full intent of releasing it. They made a Fox movie. This is definitely a Fox movie. And Disney bought Fox. So they didn't realize how much of a Fox movie this was when they bought Fox. So now they're stuck with this movie. They have all of Fox and they have this movie. They're like, what do we need to do? Create a global pandemic so that we can release this movie so that we can make any amount of money off it. Because who can make any money on this fucking Fox movie?
So they contact Netflix, and they're on board too because they've got like Tiger King and all of that crap, and they're like, we need to unload this.
Yes.
So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
They couldn't do streaming because there's something in the contracts that kept it from going to streaming. They had to put it in theaters. I bet it comes out on streaming like next week or the week after. But the box office did $9 million, and I gotta say, considering we're in a pandemic, that's actually pretty impressive.
What were the other films that were out, and what did they take? Did it say?
And Unhinged is out.
Russell Crowe did a solid $4 million in its second weekend.
Okay.
I mean, we went to the theater yesterday. Let's talk about the experience yesterday real quick. I thought it was not bad.
Yeah, the theater we went to, they showed a video of them cleaning theaters, so I don't know how real it is, but
they had a big gas tank like thing on their backs, and they were spraying down.
When I got there, it felt clean. I wasn't like, I don't know if they're doing COVID stuff here. But
And then they cut to John Goodman from Arachnophobia, and he's just got his like.
That's almost what it was like.
Yes.
Then San Cloverfield Lane, John Goodman putting you in the basement.
Man.
We thought you were clean.
But it was like you get there, everyone's wearing masks, gloves, like all the handling is done, pretty away from everything. So it was very good in that theater. I don't want to speak for all theaters because obviously people suck. But, the Rave Polaris is doing all right.
I got to say, it felt really good to go to the theater.
For sure, yeah.
So much so that when I left the theater, I got a text message from two friends that were down at Seventh Son Brewing, and they're like, come and have a beer. And I'm like, you know what? Damn it, I am, because this feels good. I feel alive. Yes. Now, 2 weeks from now, when I come down with COVID, I won't be saying that, but,
Real quick, Chad Perkins says every time New Mutants was delayed, it would go onto a different medium. It first started out where the script was released on the back of the shampoo bottle just so they could spread the hype and keep it alive.
Nice.
Very funny.
Maisie Williams was okay in that movie.
I thought she was fine. She's probably the best part.
She's having fun with the marketing. She's like, she linked an article being like, worst reviewed X-Men of all time. She's like, sounds like fun. Go see it.
It wasn't great, but
the writing was
right
terrible.
There. If this would have came out in 1998 to 2001, I think it would have gotten a lot better review. Because they would have already seen this movie 800 times. But it's it was fun to get out. It was fun to get out and be with friends.
That's the saddest part of the whole review, though.
Oh yeah, they want to do the thing. They should commit to it, but that's the problem. It's a Fox movie. They're not going to really do anything.
Go full aliens and let's go hard on.
Yeah.
All right, well, from bad writing, let's go to some good writing real quick. Dan, tell us what you thought of Cobra Kai.
Okay, so they dropped this on Netflix. What, on like Thursday?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I finished season 2 last night. So that's what I think of Cobra Kai. I think it's great.
Like Dan, we did Frady Geeks last night. Dan was like, "This show has no reason to be written this good."
No, it doesn't. I mean, it's written really well. From being a YouTube Red show.
YouTube Premium.
Well, okay, sorry. I don't care. It used to be Red or Premium. I don't. You got to pay for it, and I'm not doing that.
We all crashed the concept of this when we heard about it outside of Comic-Con.
Yeah.
It because it has every opportunity. Because Karate Kid is kind of hokey, and then also when you think about it, the stakes of Karate Kid aren't very big. It's like. Who cares that this guy lost state championships in 1987? Like, fucking,
it's not even state championship. It's the Hill Valley tournament.
That's one of the things about Cobra Kai, though, is they make you care. And William Zabka is not being talked about enough. No. He deserves to be talked about for what he's doing on this show. I'm not going to say Ralph Macchio is the greatest actor of all time, but he does very well on this show as well. But William Zabka is a standout, and he is excellent on this show. You feel bad for Johnny Lawrence. Like, you understand why he was the way he was when he was a kid. You get to see it a little bit more from his perspective. And then as the show has multiple episodes kind of showing you where the two of them actually interact, maybe for a whole episode, you kind of see that when they were younger, they weren't so different. They just had different mentors that brought them to where they were now in life. And Johnny's trying so bad to be the good guy, and you can see the struggle.
Like Johnny.
So it's kind of like Star Wars.
These guys,
kind of like Star Wars.
These guys handle it like it was Star Wars. Like, how Disney got Star Wars, and
hopefully not.
Star Wars was going into the hands of fans, and everybody was excited. This is how Star Wars should have been handled by the fans, because these guys really show you that they love the Karate Kid. And anytime they use flashbacks or fan service, it's done really, really well. Like, Miyagi is throughout the series, but it's not every line. They're like, "Oh yeah, remember Mr. Miyagi and I did this. Mr. Miyagi and I did that." This is one thing Scott and I agree on. Is this show right here. This show has united our tastes.
I agree. I've been singing this show's praises for a long time. Sorry, Dan.
You're good. I like that Johnny is more the hero. It's the way I see it anyway. Like Daniel LaRusso is kind of a dick.
I don't see it as they're both right in their little universes. If they would just sit down and talk a little bit more, they would understand how much they're trying to do the same stuff.
But LaRusso is always flying off the handle. Like he sees Cobra Kai this, and he's like, I hate Cobra Kai. We're gonna show them, and then Johnny just tries to do it a little better. I mean, I'm going to be old enough to understand, that he should try and talk and not, just fly off the handle all the time.
I forgot how good Johnny's struggle gets in season 2 when they introduce Kreese back into the show.
Yeah.
So far, I just got past the cement stuff where they're in the cement truck, and their Kreese and Johnny's is so good in season 2.
Yeah.
Like this evolution continues.
Just
the
wait.
show should not be this good. I can't express that enough. I'm just glad more people get to see it because it's on YouTube. It's 3 out of 3 geeks for the whole series.
Netflix.
Yeah, Netflix.
Yeah, as long as they don't as long as Netflix, there's no studio interference or anything weird like that. I'm glad that it's still a wider audience, because I've burned through a couple fake email addresses for free trials to watch this whole show. So I'm glad that it's on Netflix, a little more accessible. I think a lot of people are going to enjoy it.
The Netflix police will be coming for you, Scott. Now that you have mentioned that.
Grizzly Bear 6
YouTube.
I already used that one.
YouTube, sorry.
Yeah,
Hey,
I paid for that.
699.
Does anybody remember the Karate Kid action figures?
Yes.
Mm-mm.
You don't remember those? Oh, where they had like
We're
Daniel.
younger than you, John.
I know. You have to rub it in. They had
I
the
remember
little.
the Karate Kid cartoon.
What year did Karate Kid come out?
84, I think.
I was 1 year old.
Yeah.
I was 2. I need to watch the movies
Sorry,
again.
I was just apologizing for not remembering the toys, okay?
Hey,
They were
Scott,
pretty. They were
Movies
pretty.
that matter are on Netflix. What, JT?
Geek Cobra Kai.
Oh, 3. I've said this before. 100%
Okay.
3.
Dan, what do you geek Cobra Kai the series?
3. It's 3.
Very cool. I can't wait to see where they go with season 3 because that season 2 finale is something else.
I still
I
don't.
thought you hadn't seen it yet.
I've seen it. I'm rewatching it.
Oh,
for the
okay.
third time. Now that's on Netflix. I want to make sure my viewership counts to them on Netflix.
Your vote counts. But Jason is the watch it again guy. He's the watch it again champion of the universe.
Yeah.
I haven't.
I've been rewatching
Long
it now
time.
that it's back. Like I've absolutely been rewatching it. So.
Yeah, I don't have time to rewatch anymore because they release so much stuff. But I've watched Cobra Kai 3 times through, and I find new stuff each time. But let's move on to probably the biggest surprise of the year is Bill and Ted Face the Music. Max and I were watching this, and one of the things I said to him is Dumb and Dumber 2 came out a few years back, and in Dumb and Dumber 2, you could tell those guys were forcing some of that chemistry back. Like a lot of the jokes and a lot of the way they interacted seemed more forced than it did natural. This movie feels like they walked off the set of Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure and walked right into this one because their chemistry, whatever, their chemistry is just as good. They're not forcing anything.
Oh no, it's perfect. It's beautiful. Like they Alex Winter, like I don't know if he can do anything else, but he does Bill. That's the one thing he's got down 100%. Like that guy, I buy it, I believe it. Like you think that people can't be this stupid walking through life, but they make you believe that not only are they still wildly successful, they are that dumb. Like it's something that is not easy to pull off, and I don't know that it works anywhere else, but it works for this, and I fucking love this movie. I had a blast. It was, I thought, way funnier than I think it was funnier than the first Bill and Ted movie. I really enjoyed it. I don't know that it's better than the first Bill and Ted movie because obviously it started something. And look. This movie makes me not hate time travel. Think about that.
Oh, what they do with time travel in this movie is
God. Kid Cudi in this movie.
Station.
Nice.
One of the things that really stood out to me in this movie was the handling of George Carlin, his character Rufus. I had a little wet spot in my eyes when you walk past the original phone booth. A mild spoiler alerts in this movie. Okay, so you're gonna get some mild spoilers, and we see that hologram of Rufus. That was a really moving tribute, and I really liked what they did.
Oh man, no, this movie hit me in the feels like 4 or 5 times. Like I don't know, like something about 2 lifelong friends who just like do everything together, and like they got each other's backs. There's never a point in time where they're like really like arguing with each other or mad at each other. Like like Ted's he's talking about selling his guitar, and
Dude,
he's gonna
that made me get misty eyed. I was like,
and it's like a real moment. And you're like, holy shit! Like it's amazing, and it gave me everything way more than I thought it even could. Like it was just it hit me in the feels like 4 or 5 times in this movie. Where I was like,
I gotta say, I was holding back myself from laughing because I didn't want to miss anything else.
no, I'm just gonna go watch the movie again.
And Mike is 100% right. During Freddy Geeks, he mentioned that this movie catches you in the first 5 minutes with the whole sequence with Misty and Ted's father. And it absolutely does. Like from the second, you know what you're in store for, and you like the journey it's about to take you on. And this movie is a prime example of trailers not being so great and the movie delivering hand over fist.
Yes. Oh my god! Because I saw the trailer, I was like, okay, I know it. This is just like because Boba's journey was bad. Like it was just all out bad.
I like Bogus Journey.
I like it as well.
It's weird, but I like that it's weird and it's different from the first one.
All right, so we can agree that it's definitely just not your normal.
It's not excellent.
It's not your normal. Yeah.
Right. But so like my expectations for this movie was like, okay, we're gonna get at best a Bogus Journey, and at worst, God knows, right? But no, this goes right up there with Excellent Adventure. This is tied for my favorite in the trilogy.
And even like performances, like in the trailer, I think we all commented that Keanu Reeves seemed like he was forcing Ted a little bit, but as soon as the movie starts, you don't feel that he's forcing anything.
No.
When they go to therapy, they go to couples therapy together, and then you see like they do everything together. Like there's no, they don't say I. Like they
even love their life together.
Yes. We love you and you. That whole scene was great, and then because like afterwards they carry it on. Like they don't ever say everything is done as we and all this stuff. And I just think it was great. Like that was hilarious. It was. You
finally get the payoff of I.
Yes. Yes, there is payoff. And that's the thing is what I really liked about the movie is that it's reminding you what you loved about the movie without hitting the previous movies without hitting you over the head with it. Like I said, 5 minutes in where there's the first joke about Missy, and the wedding. I'm like, oh, that's right. Missy was first with Bill's dad, then with Ted's dad, and now it only makes sense that this would go this route. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And then some other stuff. I'm glad they brought back that the clock in San Dimas is always running, because they kind of were loosey-goosey with that in Bogus Journey towards the end. But here I feel like the clock in San Dimas always running is a nice meta-narrative about, well, this movie's only an hour and 30 minutes, so it's like you have an hour and 30 minutes to solve the problem, and they're always aware that time is going by. So
I kept pausing it to check the runtime of the movie, and it was pretty right on.
You were lining it up with their watch. Yeah, I loved Bill Sadler coming back as Death. Yeah. Even though that character in Bogus Journey, he was more as just like comic relief. Here, it's like, even though he's still comic relief, you're like, oh, it's good to see Death back with Bill and Ted. Like, it's good to see them patch things up.
Oh, dude. And then, like, the whole story behind it, like, Death gets a big head and tries to take over the Wild Stallions. Like,
45-minute bass solos.
You tried to steal Wild Stallions. Like, come on. 40-minute fucking bass solo. Like, I mean, I'm down for a jam session, but let's not get carried away.
And I'm not gonna lie, like all the different call outs are really fun. Like I said earlier, there's a random station call out, which I just loved because I was like, oh, that's right, station, yeah. And I'm like, it's so.
I think my favorite part of the movie is you know where it's going. You know from the first 10 minutes, like the whole process of the movie, but you still really enjoy the movie. Like there's nothing surprising you about like the progression of the story, but you're still really engaged about these characters, how they're gonna go through.
Yeah, and again, like there's just moments where it might have just been because I was stoned, but I was feeling it.
I'm sure it enhanced the experience.
Yeah, it was like when the daughters are like, they're always doing it alone. Like we gotta get them a band. Like I was like, oh god, like their daughters understand. Like there's a lot of good things. Like and I'd say like the daughters are probably the worst part, but they weren't even that bad.
No,
I liked them. They were cool. Like next generation Bill and Ted representation. Like I dug them.
As soon as I saw the trailers for this, I knew that the way the ending was going to go with the daughters. But that's the only part of this movie that's predictable. There's so many twists and turns.
I mean, even the after credit sequence is great.
There's an after credit sequence.
Yes.
Oh yeah. There's a post-credits thing.
Yeah,
go and watch that shit.
For the podcast, so we just like the movie ended and we were like, oh, okay, go set up.
Yeah, there's a cool after-credits thing, and also it's a tribute to like a lot of Alex Winter's tastes are in here because he did a Freaked, after Bill and Ted was kind of had its heyday. So he's really into like makeup and prosthetics and putting weird stuff all over him. So this movie. like indulged him.
It shows throughout the movie.
Yeah, it overindulged him a little bit, which is awesome.
Different characters.
They're talking to themselves.
I love that.
Like,
That was one of my favorite stuff. Oh man.
All
I guess I should have opened up to you more. Like,
all the different Bill and Ted's.
Keanu got to bring back his British accent.
Yes.
We were just talking about Dracula, and he's just like, I've seen things. Bloody wolves chasing me.
What about the prison sequence, though? We haven't even discussed that yet.
oh my goodness. Yeah,
I dig it.
Bill. I think is. I want one of those suits. I need a muscle suit like that.
It looks good.
You rolled right out of American History X.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
that's solid. Because in the commercials, the dude kind of looks like a Bobo from Double Dragons.
Yeah.
But,
Nice.
yeah, it's good. The prison sequence is awesome. The redemption of future Bill and Ted. And again, like this time travel thing
Made no sense.
it's good though. Like
It's great. It's great. I
Because
love
like okay, the future thems remember that they show up. And they they remember what they have to say, but then it's like, okay, what can we do that we can't remember? It's like
I genuinely like just hooped and hollered when that happened because I'm like, I did not see that coming.
That was so good.
I loved it, and I was like, okay, no, explain. Like I can't argue away from that one. It's but like it's something that they have to deal with, which is what I love. It's like instantaneously, the future Bill and Ted have the memory of the old Bill and Ted showing up. Like it's just something that happens. So it's like, but they don't they act on that information right away, and I dig that. I just think it's cool. It's like, oh yeah, this thing happened. I remember it. I'm going to use the information like I would if I remembered the whole time.
Well, it's kind of taking what they did in the previous movies, where they do like, okay, remember, we go back in time and we put the key here, and then exactly, it just shows up. It's like twisting and bending that mythos a little bit, where it's now like, yeah, well, let's not know what we're gonna do next, so here's how we do it.
So yeah, no, I dug it. This movie just did way better than I thought it could. Of course, it could just be quarantine fever and the marijuana.
No, dude, this was like the happy comfort food I think a lot of people needed.
Yeah.
I'm a guy who loves quarantine and I don't smoke, so I can tell you right now that it's not either of those two things.
Fair enough.
All right, we got Hallea joining us at 1, but until then, what's everybody geek this movie? Max?
3.
Dan?
3 for Bill and Ted.
3.
Mike?
Oh, definitely 3. Yeah.
Justin?
3, yeah. I can go with it.
Scott, did you watch this?
I did
That's
not.
a 3. It's an easy. If I could give
Scott,
it 4,
I'm just deciding for you, Scott. 3.
Go back and give Scott's 3 now, and in the future, Scott's 3 will already be there.
There you go.
I remember seeing it now.
we just hyped it.
It might.
I like the first one a lot. I'll probably like this one too.
Like, oh, the hype is good. Then
Well, it's interesting because I was thinking the same thing. Like I saw the trailer and I was like, oh, this is just gonna be bad.
Here's the thing.
But now I'm a
when
little
it comes
more
to comedies, I feel like you know what? If it's able to capture the magic of the original just fine, then it did its job. You're not going into Bill and Ted 3 expecting grandiose storytelling, or even like grandiose themes. Like it's Bill and Ted 3. You get what you pay for, and absolutely, that's what I paid for. So,
excellent. Scott, have you watched any more of Lower Decks?
Hold up.
haven't found the strength.
Episode 2 is better than 1. I think we all agreed on episode 1 mostly that it had some potential, maybe, but episode 2 is better than 1. I still didn't find it great, but it was more entertaining than I thought the first one was.
I like the credit sequence. I thought the credit sequence was the funniest part. like if they just had more of that, I'd be fine. Like it's just
especially the end credit sequence.
The opening or the closing credits?
The opening. I like how it's like the ship just like crashing into stuff and experiencing all these like spatial anomalies and just kind of stumbling around. Like I thought it was going to be a lot of that sense of humor, but it wasn't. It's like whoever made that credit sequence, they're like, "Thanks for your help. Get out. Time to write the real jokes."
All right.
Well, if I could just throw something out there real quick, I'm on my phone here just researching. Apparently Karate Kid action figures are a hot thing now. Funko's put out a bunch now. There's a bunch of new versions, but I'm talking about the originals that had like the button you press on the back and they go hiya. Yeah, you know, they'd have the little like blocks that you could break, and I think they only had that's what I was looking up. They had Daniel, Mr. Miyagi, Kreese, Johnny, and then random like other Cobra Kai members. I think
repainted Johnnies.
Repainted Johnny.
All the same
out swap.
You know what? That sounds like a great band name, Mike.
Repainted Johnnies.
Yeah.
That takes on a different context in another country.
Oh, jeez. All right, you're talking Karate Kid action figures, but do you remember the Chuck Norris cartoon action figures?
I remember the cartoon. I don't remember the figures.
Chuck Norris and the Karate Commandos?
Yes.
Yes, I remember those.
Because I have a couple of those.
Jason, when we go to break, can you play the YouTube video of the 1986 Karate Kid action figures commercials?
Nice.
If you send it to me.
There's a Cobra Kai video game coming out.
I know.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be like a shitty mobile game, but.
I was about to say, is it going to be like a retro throwback? Yeah.
I'm looking at these Chuck Norris Karate Commandos toys now. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you people?
What's wrong with you? You're interested, dude.
Yeah, really. Wait.
Don't put it all on everybody else. You're a little bit interested in hunting down obscure action figures from.
There must be a surge of Google activity. I typed in Chuck Norris K and Karate Commandos action figures. That's the first result.
Nice.
Look, there's not a lot. Look, I have wanted to go to Kokomo, Indiana, the Kokomo Toys for like the last year, and every time me and my friends plan a trip, something goes sideways. Whether it's somebody gets sick, whether somebody ends up getting called out to work, COVID,
pandemic.
Pandemic.
I so want to go. They have so much cool shit out there, man. Like old G.I. Joe's, He-Man. I'm sure they have Karate Commandos.
Kokomo, is that what you said?
Kokomo, Indiana. Yeah, Kokomo Toys.
Road trip.
I've been watching that show on Netflix, the toys that made us.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I've been popping in.
That's a cool show, man.
So it's.
I didn't like the Japanese one though. Like that one because that woman was like,
"Here we go."
She just kept showing these random. Nah, stop it right now, Mike.
Oh, geez.
But she showed all these random toys that, like,
no surprise there.
Yeah. Surprise.
We love you, John.
Take it easy on the Asians, Lou.
I don't have earmuffs on right now. I don't know.
Your Honor, I withdraw this line of questioning.
No, I know which one you're talking about. Where it's just, you're kind of like, this is kind of a grim behind the curtain.
Yeah, because he was like, look at this one, and the dolls that had the giant eyeballs. I'm like, that's fucked up. Why do you like those?
Who would give that to their child?
Yeah. Not to be outdone. True story. Growing up.
You gotta do yourself one
story.
better.
I got one better than that.
Are we gonna go there, John?
Is it about Asians?
Growing up, my mom went out to Amish country to go shopping one time. Came back with these Amish dolls. Guess what? The Amish, because of their beliefs, they don't put faces on their dolls. They were the creepiest things I have ever seen.
Nice. I kind of want one now.
Mike, are you all right?
Yeah, the Amish invented Slender Man is what you're saying.
Pretty much,
Cool.
yeah. My mom brought it back. She goes, look at these. I'm like, they don't have faces. Well, John, their belief system. I'm like, they don't make dolls.
It's like,
But I mean, do they have the curvature of the face at least?
No,
or
no, it's just flat.
smooth?
Oh, dude.
Oh, fuck this.
All right, everybody. More with John's fun races. I'm assuming.
Ah, stop it.
yeah, no, like,
You just hate on Amish people.
yeah, that's a
To be
religion.
fair, that was against a religious group,
Sect.
a sect.
We will be right back in
Words
5
of this
minutes
one.
after this quick
I
commercial
thought you went to therapy.
break.
No, there was a reason you got here.
God.
Oh, Jason, is this what I think it is?
Oh, yes, it is. Everybody mute yourself.
Oh my God.
Oh yes, yes. Yeah.
You might want to unmute it.
I love this.
All right, I'll fix it.
Hey everybody, so I finally gave in and witnessed the Emoji Movie. And I gotta say, I was a little, let's say, anxious about this particular viewing because everything I'd seen before the actual film itself had kind of prepared me to just expect the most kind of shallow, pandering, product placement type of corporate by the numbers release that you could expect. Everything from the posters to the trailer. But after seeing the actual film, in the context of its story and its characters and the world it creates through the animation by Sony, I can't lie. I actually had a pretty decent time with this film. So let's get into it because there really aren't that many cons as far as I can tell from my viewing. I really don't understand what everyone else critically, why everyone's gung-ho to go after this particular film. People have been saying, like, ever since the Lego movie, that kind of, even though that was a good movie, that opened up the doorway for a lot of, these types of product-driven films that their sole purpose is to get you or to get your children to buy that toy, to buy that game, to buy whatever. Download the Just Dance app now. So I can see the movie. It went above and beyond what it should have. It really did create this very elaborate world, and it just draws you into the atmosphere and the mood. Like, everything is so imaginative and detailed. Everything from the giant mushrooms to flying those dragons, those banshees, and you got to plug in your ponytail and interact with nature. Like, it's a very immersive experience to get into this world. But I know what you're saying out there. An immersive experience is only as good as its characters. And thankfully, this movie has some of the most well-rounded and most sympathetic characters in cinema today. I mean, you really get the plight of Rick and Ilsa in this film. Like, they're torn apart by conflict and strife taking place all over the globe, circumstances against their love. When they reconnect after years from not seeing each other, you get this longing, but also this resentment, which is further encompassed by the phenomenal soundtrack that's headlined by As Time Goes By. But not only are two leads are really relatable and enjoyable, but the supporting cast is actually really well done. I mean, when Baby Groot first falls off of this tree and interacts with our leads for the first time, it's actually a really, heartfelt and thought-provoking thing. And best character ever, James Corden, you are a comedic genius. Speaking of phenomenal supporting cast and leads, as I was saying, speaking of phenomenal supporting cast, the plot itself is really, you really get involved in it. You really have no idea where it's going at times. Like, is Mrs. Bates actually the killer? You never know. You can't really anticipate the twists and turns. Like, is she the killer? Is Bruce Willis actually a ghost? PlayStation 4 is everything. Sorry, guys, I'm back. Where was I? Mrs. Bates. Is she the killer? What happened out on the boat with Fredo? Edward and Bella with the CGI baby. James Corden is God, emojis. Emojis are the best form of communication since the invention of cave drawings. Watch the movie, show me money, you cash. I'm sorry. Emojis. Big dance number. Buy Just Dance. Buy the app. Buy Just Dance.
That is still one of the greatest things ever. You could tell that was during a time where Mike was watching the reboot of Twin Peaks and felt a little Lynchian.
Oh my God.
Little behind the scenes stuff. A little behind the scenes note. That was actually a bottle of sake, and I was actually drinking it, so I was actually getting drunker as I was doing the video.
That's the way that makes sense, man.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, that's great stuff. That is absolutely wonderful stuff.
Again, to kind of go along the Chadwick Boseman line, remember me for my quality of work, not for the quantity. Damn. That's my legacy.
Funny. Oh my God.
I would just like to point out that I decided to put on my New Japan Pro Wrestling T-shirt.
Thank you.
So because I do love Asian people, all Asian people.
Listen, you can cover up your hate with the T-shirt all you want.
Like,
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Awesome. Oh,
true strength come from heart.
Oh, this is Karate Kid 2.
Yeah.
That is not Johnny Lawrence.
This preview just reminded me of a scene from Cobra Kai with Daniel Russo records a commercial for Miyagi-Do, and then he becomes Daniel the Racist because he's playing like the Asian music in the background. He's wearing one of Miyagi's
Cultural appropriation,
Yeah. Man.
We are going to have Miss Hallea Jones on in just a minute, so if you guys have any questions for her, please let us know. Oh, I forgot to send her the link, so give me 1 second. To fix that.
Whoops.
A whole nother minute.
so you get extra time to think about your questions.
Yeah.
And John's life choices.
Oh man.
We get Brian Lau back on.
John's life choices.
You know, Justin, one time you mix up Japanese beer with Chinese beer and you're a racist for the rest of your life. I mean,
Yes.
Nobody's judging you, John.
Right, you were just
Not everybody.
It's not
Some of
Not
them.
everyone.
the racist comments. You just got on here and started making more racist comments. It's not unfounded, sir. Like you had to go. We sent you to the meetings.
yeah, I know.
Oh, no, we have a message from our president. I like John's comments. They're amazing. They're fantastic. I like his thoughts on China. John,
I think you've done this bit before.
You are the greatest of all time. You are perfect.
Oh no.
You're a perfect American.
Oh, I don't like any of this. Where's Hallea when we need her?
Save us, Hallea. Please.
Good stuff. That was a funny trailer. And that little white kid using a really racist accent. Fantastic.
To talk like
That
John-
commercial was very whitewashed, wasn't it?
John in 2020 makes a lot more sense after watching that trailer.
Man, I'm gonna have to do like at least another 3 hours of Ghost of Tsushima in order to make up for all that.
Oh my god, I have almost 100% of that game. I like it so much.
Real quick,
It's fun.
John, since we have a moment, isn't there a podcast for middle-aged people that they can listen to first thing in the morning while they're eating their pudding? Yes, there is, Jason. It's called Matt Talk.
Eating for pudding? In the morning? Who the hell eats pudding in the morning?
That's when
I don't know who else
That's
does.
when we put it on at 4 a.m. Well, anyway, Matt Talk is
Toothless
now
people?
on YouTube. That is right, on YouTube. Check out Matt Talk on all the fun platforms. Right, John?
That is correct. Currently, we have the Seduction that is on Anchor FM, which let me just tell you, you want something sultry. you want something sexy, you need to check out Matt Talk and our review of The Seduction. It is unlike any other episode of Matlock you've ever seen.
And you get a few moments of Andy Griffith with a prostitute in a hotel room.
Yes.
Now,
yes.
Is he seducing her or is she seducing him?
No, he's giving her legal advice.
Oh,
not really.
So clearly he's seducing her.
He's like, I've
yeah.
an evening with a woman whose voice is just a little higher than mine.
Yeah.
Matt Talk.
There you go.
Welcome back, Hallea. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good.
Good.
Everyone
all right.
hear me and see me fine. I'm on my phone this time, which is kind of. Can it go this way? No.
We are a full Brady bunch.
Wow.
Dude.
So,
Yeah, this is very Brady Bunchish.
Yes.
Wow.
I
what
was
did
just
you do
doing
this
a
summer?
film last weekend where I was the only girl on set. So I'm very used to it. I was like raised. I was always one of the boys growing up. Like I had girlfriends and stuff, but I was always one of the guys. So I'm pretty used to it. And so hey, but sorry, I got somebody off. Someone was.
Oh, I was just saying, what's your summer been like?
Oh, you know, it's been strange, but I just got back to the city. So I'm down by the water. I don't know if you can see that. But yeah, back in the city, I was kind of getting a little bit stir crazy up at my cottage with my parents. So it was time to come back. And I mean, we're still in quarantine-ish world. I mean, it doesn't really look like there's a lot of people outside. But it's been nice kind of like catching up with friends and just being back into the world a little bit. But the summer's been great. It was really nice to spend it with family. I felt like I really needed it. So,
That's
yeah.
awesome. Yeah, you've been working on a lot of music this summer too, right?
Yeah, it's we are officially now at I think 17 songs.
Wow,
So,
that's great. We all became fans of your music shortly after the last time you were on.
That's amazing because it's not even like officially out yet. So that means that's gonna be better when it does officially come out. And you guys can all go bump it at home and with your friends. But thank you for even tuning in. It's kind of crazy to me, but yeah.
So you said you just got back from filming. So like, are you filming Lock and Key, or are you filming? Is this another project you're working on?
No, not yet. We're not on Lock and Key yet. There's more talk about it happening right now, which is really nice. Because for a while there, we weren't hearing anything, and we were really nervous because the Society just got canceled, and I'm Not Okay With This it just got canceled, and they were like renewed for second season, so we were really nervous. But so far we've heard good things, knock on wood, stays as it should. And I was filming this, it was just a proof of concept because right now with like the pandemic and stuff, it's kind of difficult to do a full out film. And the guy who wrote it, Eric Janola, he wrote it, produced it, directed it, and starred in it. So pretty crazy. Like it was just last weekend, and it was just a 1 day thing. They were filming for 2 days, but I was only on for 1 day, and it was just like I said, like a bunch of guys, we all hit it off. It was really, really fun. And yeah, it just made me want to get back to set. It made me want to work.
You're still up in Canada?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, Canada seems to be handling COVID much, much better than us down here.
Yes, it is. We've been doing really well with it, but it's still kind of like, I keep on saying it's still not zero. Sorry. That's the problem with like being downtown. I'm actually at a friend's place. She moved back to Montreal, and I'm plant sitting right now, making sure that they don't die, which I'm a little bit nervous about because I'm not a very good plant mom. But they're still alive. It's okay. But it's so loud down here because I went from being like in the woods down to being like right in the thick of the city. So it's been pretty crazy bikers. But yeah, sorry. Getting distracted. I had so much coffee. I'm like jumping off the walls right now.
Like, it seems like a pretty good view. I guess like if it's gonna be loud, there's worse spots to be though. I mean, right on the water.
Yeah, it's really nice. Like you forget, especially in Toronto. I'm more of like this is right on the water's edge, but I'm more of like a further into the city kind of gal, like West End, and you forget that there's water here. And I mean, it's just a lake, but it's still like it feels like it's oceanside, you know. Unfortunately, it's not the ocean, but you do with what you have.
Right? Yeah, just you gotta take what you play the cards you dealt.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I was curious. So you've been being able to do some movie production stuff, still do some shooting. Has on-set procedures and behavior had to change because of COVID for you that much?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, so much. I mean, I only had a little taste of it, but from what I'm hearing from other people, we're going to have to get COVID tests every 3 days when we get back to Lock and Key. So like right up the nose. And we have to, they can't officially quarantine us, which kind of came as a surprise to me. I would not have been surprised if they were like, hey, we're putting you all up in the same hotel. Because when you're acting, you can't wear a mask. Like, you know, it just doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
So we don't wear masks, and we're kind of like, I think we're contracted to just like self-quarantine and not see people for until April, basically. Like, we're going to be filming for a very long time because the shoot dates aren't as long as they usually are. Like, they can go up to 16 hours. And apparently, because they want to keep immune systems healthy, you know, all that stuff, they're shortening days. So they have to extend the period of filming. And then on top of that, like, all of the crew is wearing masks at all time. Like, I felt so bad for them. Like, they were just like, it was so hot outside. And it's already like, I'm pro-mask and everything, but I understand why people hate masks. I think we all do. But it's just so hard to breathe and talk, and then you're like, it's difficult overall, just like being on set and not being able to like see people's full faces and, you know, see their smile or whatever. It's just a very strange thing. And then on top of that, like, no craft services, except for like lunch and food, like that's pre-wrapped, which sucks because I love craft services. Probably a good thing though. It's probably a good thing. Like, I totally abused my craft service privilege last year, and it shows in what Eden looks like in season 1. But this year I'm like, with Eden's mad twist at the end of season 1, I'm like, okay, I can't abuse the craft services this time. I'm just gonna Eden's crazy. So yeah, it's been like a huge change, but I'm very curious to see what the big change is gonna be like for Lock and Key though.
What's your favorite thing at craft services?
Everything. So I don't eat meat, and I try not to eat dairy, but I cannot stop myself from a nice croissant. I just like, I will devour. Last year when I was working on the Netflix film Let It Snow, we had like really long hours, and so I would just like, every time I walked past the craft service table, I was like, here's the cookie, here's the croissant. And they'd be like the mini croissants, so you don't really feel like you're doing anything bad. And then it's like 10 later, and you're like, oh, I probably shouldn't have eaten all those. And then I got on this whole bender of being like, okay, I'll eat fruit. And then like 7 oranges later, I realized that's actually not healthy for you.
At least you don't have to worry about scurvy.
Yeah, I'm just like, I'm good to go. I could outfit a whole pirate ship right now. Like, so yeah, I'm really bad on set when it comes to, because like I'm super ADHD, if you can't tell. And so to like spend my time sitting around for hours on end, it's like really hard to just settle my mind, and like eating is something to just do, and that's not good. But like they do these peanut butter jam sandwiches with like the Wonder Bread, which is something as a kid I never grew up having Wonder Bread. It was like whole grain bread always. Super lame. So I'd just be like,
welcome
in the
to the other side.
You're less healthy bread.
Yeah. Which is like, as an adult, I am like, I love healthy multigrain breads, but at the same time, like if you put Wonder Bread peanut butter and jelly sandwiches in front of me, I am going to stuff my face. So yeah, that's my craft services.
I was interested if they were going to do, because like with the NBA or the NHL, they're doing the bubbles, and that seems to be really working. I was wondering if different, like Lock and Key or then whatever movie's going to get shot, if they're just going to do bubbles for that. But I guess that'd be kind of harder to do just with the amount of people. I mean, it might be less time, but still like the amount of people.
Yeah, I think it's just difficult because like technically, if you're shooting on location, it would be like shooting on location, and then you have to get per diem, and it's just like, I personally was very surprised that they weren't doing that, because it's like, for me, luckily, like I'm not living with my parents, but my dad does have to come back, and he's 75 years old, and like I don't feel comfortable going to set and then coming back to my dad, and like, so for that time that he is back, I'm gonna have to like go and sublet an apartment or something like that, which is fine, like I'll figure it out. But it's it's kind of, it's super strange that they're not doing that, but there's only so much that you really can do, right? So
I wanted I actually had craft services once, and it was amazing.
Back to the food. I know. Talk about food all day.
Wait. Where did you have craft services?
When I went to Saudi Arabia for Wizard World.
Oh yeah.
All right, don't even worry about what my boy Jason did.
And dude, if William Shatner wants to order him a pizza at 2:00 in the afternoon, you get 37 pizzas in this room, and it was amazing. I ate like a king for 3 days.
He's the Saudi Arabian Pizza Hut, and he's like, I ate like a king.
3 hours of work a day and all this food.
So easy to just like get lost in craft services, because it's just like, as I said, like I have dietary restrictions, or I don't call them restrictions. I eat what I want, but I can go up to them and be like, hey, can you make me something? I'm kind of hungry, and they'll do it. Or you like order a pizza. It's great.
Yeah, somebody there wanted
enabling. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, somebody there wanted a Big Mac, and I left the room. I came back, and there was 45 Big Macs and like 37 10-piece chicken nuggets and like 60 French fries. In Saudi Arabia, somebody wanted McDonald's.
I'm with Hallea. Halea's face said it all on that one. Like, okay, fine.
Yeah.
So do they just have like some magical machine in the back that just like on a kid's cartoon, just you crank the wheel and out comes Big Macs?
Fast food.
What movie is that with is it Macaulay Culkin, where he has the McDonald's in?
Richie Rich.
Richie Rich.
Richie Rich. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my God, I haven't had McDonald's, and I don't even remember the last time I had McDonald's.
You're not missing much.
I'm sorry.
Probably a good thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm pretty sure they do, like, there's an allotted, like, 0.0000 1 grams of crack you're allowed to have in your food at any point in time for the FDA.
I don't think that's a law, Max.
I'm sure they put that in there.
I don't think that's a thing.
Like,
I don't think that's a thing, dude.
Like, you know what it's doing whenever you eat fast food? Like, you want to eat more fast food? Like, it's something
Well,
they
it's
put in.
the addictive chemicals that they put in it. They like
Max, did you say crack or crap?
Yeah. He's like, you sprinkle like a half an ounce of crack.
Those are interchangeable.
I heard crack.
Yeah.
I think he said crack.
Craft foods and crack.
I went to Thailand, and the Pizza Hut and the McDonald's in Thailand was like swank restaurants. They weren't like McDonald's you see here. So that I wonder, like
it's a novelty there. It's
yeah,
just
like it's something like major over there. So it's like when you got the Saudi Arabian Big Mac, did you feel like it was like better than like the Big Macs here?
The same. I hoped, because I had to get Burger King was the only thing in the airport. Like they love Burger King. Domino's and McDonald's is everywhere over there. And in the airport, I'm like, I'm gonna try a Whopper. I don't like them in the U.S. I did not like it in Saudi Arabia.
All right, that's fair.
Sounds like a Dr. Seuss book. I did not like it over there.
I am.
Who was mentioning the wizarding world?
Me?
What
Wizard
what-
World.
was that to do with?
No.
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 Wizard World, they've run some cons in the U.S. and then they went overseas to do Stan Lee's SuperCon, and I got invited because I know a couple people that were going.
I wish it was Harry Potter. Though.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it'd be a lot cooler.
I'm sure Harry Potter could work into it somehow. Yeah.
Probably. I've been like flying through Prisoner of Azkaban right now, and
My favorite
it
one.
was like the only. Right?
Mine was-
It's so good. It's my favorite. Definitely my favorite.
Okay,
I love
the
Quidditch.
Goblet of Fire.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. Have any of you read the Darker Shade of Magic trilogy?
Mm-mm.
No, is it good? Her face is insulted.
Sounds like we need to get on that.
Yes,
Add that to a
Bunch
list.
of muggles, all of
apparently
you.
we do.
I'll get until you all read the book.
Let me tell you right now.
He just hangs up.
It's so good. Like each book is 600 pages, no less, and I flew through them so quickly. They're so good, and apparently they're working on production right now. So I don't know if it's gonna be a film or a TV show or something, but I'm like, what character can I be?
Get in there for sure.
Talking to the agent like, do what you have to, get me in the room.
Yeah, that's exactly.
I'm curious,
It's so good.
I'm curious now, since you seem to be, a fan of, like, say, fantasy and these types of stories, is like when you do come across a new story or a new like fantasy series or something along those lines, do you automatically start casting yourself in a particular role, being like, I could do that, I could definitely do that?
She's like, all of them. I'm an amazing actress.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, though. The Darker Shade of Magic trilogy, it has like two. I'll like do a little light thing. So it's basically about 4 different Londons that all the Londons don't interact with each other because they don't know. It's like parallel universes. And one of them has no magic. One of them is Grey London, which is like our world where it's like the magic is very like hardly there. And then you have Red London or White London where it's like really dark or not dark. It's really corrupt and like magic is power. And then you have Red London, where Red London is like this beautiful, magic is everywhere, and magic is this perfect, beautiful, smells like roses kinds of thing. And it focuses on 2 people, Kel, this like very like powerful magician who can go through the worlds, and he's called an Antari, and there's only like 2 Antaris in the whole universe. And then there's also, so he's from Red London, and then there's Delilah Bard, who's just like seemingly this random girl from Grey London, who's this badass, like pirate wannabe, thief, like very quick with her hands, very like just cutthroat, doesn't put up with bullshit. And she gets tangled up with this other character from Red London when he's like hopping through the universes or whatever. And I love her character so much because she's just the embodiment of the badass bitch I want to be. And she just like, her favorite accessory is like a knife. And the story that V.E. Schwab just entwines with these powerful characters where you like hate them and you love them and they're so flawed, but they're so beautiful. And so to answer your question, like Delilah Bard, this character I'm talking like about, she would be the one I would love to really embody. But at the same time, I feel like it would be such a challenge, which I love that, because it wouldn't be anything like Eden. It wouldn't be anything like any character I've played. But I want to just play a badass. I do look at myself in these like books and stuff, and I'm like, who would I be? Who would I love to be? And then in Harry Potter, I would totally be Luna Lovegood. Let's be honest.
Nice.
So yes, to answer your question, I do all the time, at all times.
All the time.
And I get very salty when I'm watching a show and an actor's not doing a great job. I'm like, I really wish I could have done that role.
Are you
Especially
sitting at
if I
home,
audition for
arms folded, being like, harumph, I could
have done that.
Why did she read the line like that? That was a horrible line reading. Ugh. Yeah, that's me, basically. I'm like, yeah, especially if I've like auditioned for the show and then it goes to somebody else, like, which you can't get mad about because it's just the way life is and I wasn't supposed to be on that show. But it's like, oh, I would have loved to play that character. Like, how would I have done it differently? And whatnot, but still learning actors, so everything's a process, and just watching other people and how they like, why did they get the role and how did they create this character differently than I did when I auditioned for that role. So it's like been really interesting seeing auditions that I've done like come to life and have a face put to them that's just like, oh, that's why I didn't get it, like that's why it didn't work out. But everything works for a reason, and now we're going into season 2 of Lock and Key, so I can't complain.
So can I ask, if you, like, Hallea, if you would look at all of the great characters that have been portrayed, I don't know, in the history of film, is there like one role that you would have done anything to have that role?
Oh, I think on that one.
Sam from 16 Candles.
Jeez. I what's her name? From 10 Things I Hate About You.
Julia Stiles?
Yeah, her character.
Kat.
Kat is a great character. But I don't know. There are a few that would be really, really fun. I think. Wow, that's actually a really difficult question. I like Kat because she's not what's expected, especially in that time. Julia Stiles did such a good job of, like the character was written to be a girl who didn't really conform to these ideas that society placed on young women. And so any character of that kind, I think, really takes me of interest because, with Eden, I think Eden season 2 is really a character I'm very excited about because there's just so much more to her. But Eden's still like the popular girl, she's, I love Eden's character, but Kat's kind of like this badass that I want to be more of a badass, so that's why I'm excited for season 2.
Have you guys gotten script yet?
I don't know what else. No, not yet, which I'm really upset about because I am so excited to read what they have in store. I've heard that it's pretty badass, so that makes me feel a whole bit good about what's coming. I have no doubt the writers are gonna. I think this season's gonna be darker, way darker. I have a feeling that it's the kind of show like Stranger Things. Like first season of Stranger Things wasn't that dark, but then like look at season 3. Like season 3 was like really dark. So I feel like they're just going to continue building it and building it and building it. And I hope. We haven't been confirmed for season 3, but everything will happen as it does.
We won't keep you much longer, but tell everybody where they can find you on all this fun social medias and where to get your music. And
so my Instagram is really the main place I do everything. So that's just Hallea Jones, Hallea Jones. And I was called Pauline today at Starbucks. I don't know where they caught that today. So apparently my alter ego is Pauline.
You should just roll with it. Like, now I'm Pauline.
Yes.
Who is
Well,
Pauline?
it's because the mask, too. Because like I don't tell them like ever when I go anywhere. I don't say Hallea because I just don't even feel like spelling it out. So I always say Holly because that was my nickname growing up. And today, wearing the mask, I needed some freaking coffee, and I was like, "It's Holly," and she was like, "Holly," and I was like, "Yeah," and then she's Pauline. So I was like, "I guess that's my alter ego today."
Sure.
But yeah, my Instagram and my Twitter is another place, same thing, Hallea Jones. And then I started a Patreon with my brother, August. And I really wanted to start a YouTube and a blog. But a lot of the stuff that I've been creating, like my music and whatnot, I didn't really want to share super publicly. So I am this month donating everything that we make to a charity because it's not about the money for me. That's really more so about just like creating like a small community of people to share work with and whatnot, and creative ventures and vlogs from being on set and the bunch of music that we're working on. So our Patreon is Hallea X August, like the month of August. And so we've been putting up a bunch there. We just put up a SoundCloud link actually with a bunch of our demos. They're very like rough sketch demos, but our demos are all up on our Patreon as of tomorrow. And just like a bunch of other music and vlogs and fun stuff and whatnot. So that's where you can find me.
Awesome. I will share all that stuff in the description of this as well. Thank you so much for joining us. It's always a pleasure to have you on. So thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
It was fun to chat. So have a good day, guys.
You too.
Take care.
Bye.
Care.
See you.
Bye.
See you.
Bye.
Oh, no more.
All right.
Yeah,
one more box. So close.
No, I dig it. One day we're gonna fill out the Brady Bunch thing.
No.
Whoever's in the middle box needs to like dress up as like the maid. Oh, that's me.
We all
There you go,
need a
Justin.
song when it's filled out.
Here's the story of a lovely lady.
Then you get copy strike.
Yeah, you get copyright strike right away there.
Yeah.
Really?
No, that's cool. Like,
I'm team suspenders over belts.
Listen, I mean, when I was I worked as a farmhand as my first job, and we had overalls, but they were suspenders and those are some fun times.
Yeah, man.
Like moseying around cows, just doing this.
The only suspenders I own are on my ice hockey pants. So,
nice.
I mean, they're fun, I guess.
I mean, they're always fun at weddings.
They keep your pants up. So,
I don't think I own any suspenders.
I like belts.
Yeah.
I'm a belt guy.
Are we just becoming like a senior citizen podcast now?
Yeah. I don't.
You see what happens with your Matlock talk now?
Right here.
It's the breakfast pudding.
Yay.
Where's my table? You're putting in suspenders.
It's
time to use some net talk.
Get Hallea back. She took all the youth out of our group. She took all the youth with her. Now we're all just like, hey. Yeah, any youth we had left, she took with her to go channel into a project.
Hey, you guys coming over to play euchre later?
Right after the mailman stops by with my ARP card.
Yeah.
Well, next week on Matt Talk, John and I discuss whether you should carry a handkerchief with you or just use a paper towel.
Paper towel, duh.
Oh, what? That's gross. You know what you do in a handkerchief, right?
That's what they used to wear.
You
My
wanna
grandfather
carry that
would carry
around with
one with him.
Max, are you saying there's more uses for the handkerchief than blowing your nose?
I mean, like, snot is gross enough, isn't it?
Oh, okay. No.
Yeah. Get worse than that.
That's why I always get grossed out when somebody offers their handkerchief to somebody.
Right,
Yeah.
I washed it last month. It's fine.
Saying you used hanky.
Kind of stuck together.
Ugh.
Yeah, that nickname doesn't
Anyways.
work anymore because of South Park.
Mr. Hanky?
Yeah.
Mr. Hank.
Do you want to use my hanky? No, I'm good. Not in this day of COVID.
No.
Not ever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
That's gross.
That's one of those things where it's like, how did people, like, Why was this done? Like, at all?
Why was this a thing? Even when I was a kid and he would pull it out, I thought it was gross.
I guess I've just seen way too many like movies and TV shows where an old guy pulls out a handkerchief, coughs blood into it.
Yeah. Oh man. He's got the consumption.
We kept smiling.
And then old Jebediah had the black lung.
He went down to the mines and he just kept coughing.
Canary died. I don't know what happened.
Here, have a faceless doll.
I've been yoking cattle since I was 5.
Oh man.
All right, so we don't really have a topic for the rest of the show.
Wait,
so
the elderly isn't enough?
So I'm gonna come up with one since we just discussed Bill and Ted.
Oh, great.
Discuss comedy sequels that work.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh,
Hangover work. I thought.
No,
No.
Hangover 3 was better than 2.
Are they not sequels?
It is a sequel.
Yeah, I mean-
So Hangover 3
Are they not sequels?
a good sequel that nobody saw because of the Hangover 2.
It just has to be the second movie. Can't be the third.
Very different. Hangover 3 was a heist film.
Okay, I'll throw out National Lampoon's Vacation series because you had Vacation, European Vacation,
Christmas Vacation,
Christmas
And
Vacation.
Randy Quaid is in
solid.
that.
Oh my
Yeah.
Who?
That's the-
Friend of the show, Randy Quaid.
Friend of the show.
Oh,
Friend of the
Randy.
show who doesn't want to talk to us.
Oh,
Ever.
just so
That's
fast.
just a misunderstanding. I'm sure he clicked the wrong button, and then he's so old now he can't figure out how to change it. It's nothing really.
He pulled his handkerchief out to clean a screen, and
Surprise, surprise. Clean
Naked Gun 2.5. Naked Gun 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, Scott.
Here's one that's also a guilty pleasure. I really liked Airplane 2. Maybe it's because I've been told for so long that the movie was horrible, but I found it entertaining.
It was okay.
I liked Airplane
I'll
2.
look at that one. I thought
Actually,
Airplane 2 was all right.
I actually had 2, and Naked Gun 2.5 was one of them.
That's real hard.
I actually really like Night at the Museum, Battle of the Smithsonian.
Yeah, I enjoyed all the Night at Museums. I'm with
Yeah,
you.
I think they're all pretty funny.
Yeah.
They all
Scott,
pretty decent.
what about Naked Gun 33 1/3?
That's pretty good too.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I gotta give it-
Yeah. Okay. Hey, Randy.
All right, Randy.
Oh my goodness.
Why are we?
Wait a minute.
Why are we advertising
Is
JoeBlow.com?
Yeah, really.
I don't know.
that Randy Quaid with the beard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's the Randy Quaid that blocked us. I thought he would be gettable for the podcast because he looks like that now, but
Like
Yeah.
Mountain Man Randy Quaid. That is awesome.
He's old and senile. I mean, means he'll come on the podcast. It's
Oh my
great.
goodness.
I'm shocked by that. I really did not anticipate. I was not ready for that.
Mountain Man Randy Quaid is the best thing I've seen. all
Did you guys watch the Jump Street movie?
Has your whole worldview just been like shaken?
I enjoyed Jump Street.
Yes, it has.
entertaining.
Okay.
They were good.
Awesome.
Max would
Nice.
like. I might make him watch the second one with me today.
Comedy sequels.
22 Jump Street, Justin just said, and I 100% agree.
I think those were good.
Yeah.
I like it. Like after, so there's an opening sequence, and then they're sitting down with their lieutenant, and he's like, "The reason that did not work is because you guys weren't doing the same thing. We need to do the same thing. So my supervisors have given us more money to do the same thing. So I'm sending you guys to Jump Street." Not 21, 22. It's the building right next door. But remember, the same thing.
Yeah, they have a lot of. I mean, even in the first one, they had a lot of meta commentary on just like reboots and story structure and stuff like that, which is what those guys do. I mean, they did the same thing in the Lego Movie.
Yeah.
That's why I'm
They're very like
because
on the
of Gordon
name.
Miller.
What about Army of Darkness? I really like the skeletons in those. Those made me laugh.
Both of them are good. Evil Dead 2 and
Yeah.
Army of Darkness are great sequels. I'd consider Army of Darkness a comedy.
I laughed a lot in that. If it wasn't supposed to be a comedy, they fooled me.
And the Evil Dead 2 is a comedy.
Is the Evil Dead 2 a sequel?
We're not doing this again, Max.
No.
I'll go great comedy sequels, Jaws 2, 3, and 4.
There you go.
No, those are horrible.
Jaws
John.
3D.
The Revenge. That's
On the tails of that,
sequel.
I'm going with
Highlander
2.
Highlander 2, yeah.
Yes.
That is pretty funny.
Quite
Godfather
the
2.
Oh man.
Police Academy
Man, we get shot in the head in the boat. Oh, dude.
The Notebook 2 is just the same movie over again.
How about Titanic 2? It just keeps sinking.
There is a
Yeah.
Titanic.
I know
too.
there is a Titanic 2.
Oh my god.
No, really?
Yeah.
What?
There's a second Titanic?
Did they make it?
Well, no, it's the Britannica or something. It's a different ship, but it also crashes. It also sinks.
No, I think it'd be hilarious if they're like Titanic 2, and it's like they called it the Titanic 2, and it sails, and it just gets there.
Yeah,
Like,
it's what that's the movie I'm talking about.
Upon our movie.
Oh, y'all thought that was gonna be a crash, huh?
Yeah.
There it is.
100 years later.
Wait, Brooke Burns is in it?
Thank you.
Oh my god, that tagline!
Oh my god.
You know who stars in that? Jesus.
Man, Randy Quaid.
I gotta say, Jason, I just love the idea that there is a folder dedicated to Randy Quaid pictures on your computer.
Well, there is now. I just made it.
Evil Dead 2 is not a sequel.
My Pets Are Weird. It is a sequel.
No, it's not.
Technically, it is.
No, it's a retelling of Evil Dead 1.
It is, but it's also a sequel because that's 2 in the title. Hey,
Because there's 2 in the title. There's 2 in the title. It's a sequel.
thanks for tuning in again. My Pets Are Weird. And since every time you pop on this podcast, you're looking for some form of entertainment, and the last time you popped on, you got the
Taco Bell presents its newest entree, as seen in the hit.
But I'm not going to play the whole thing for you.
Wait, that was the person that was somewhat disturbed by this Taco Bell commercial?
Yeah. That's the one who was telling his mom on you.
So Jason thought to just make them relive that terror.
Yeah.
That's great.
Well, he was great. He came back.
Remember that time we heard you? Welcome back.
What for punishment, aren't you?
Hey, Mike, when's that episode gonna air of Remake Revolution?
I'll get to it.
I
was telling him earlier, like, I'm editing right now because I'm trying to figure out what is the barest amount of that one picture that I can put in the video.
My Pets Are Weird says, I've been told not to get y'all started on that.
Not if you want mental health.
Yeah.
That's our only recorded bit, My Pets Are Weird. If you want to record a bit for us, send it on in.
No. Never mind. We're not opening that can of worms.
Hey, I just want everyone to know I'm very proud and somewhat ashamed of that bit that I produced for y'all.
I will say this. No, My Pets Are Weird. Send your bits to 3geeksjay@gmail.com. I will siphon through them and send them to Max for approval. And what's up, Brian? How you doing today, buddy? You just missed Hallea. She was on.
Yep. Oh yeah, Brian.
Yeah.
Brian was there for that interview, wasn't
The first one, yeah.
he? Brian missed you, but if we had Brian, it would have been a full Brady bunch.
Oh, good Lord.
Way to drop the ball, Staunchcast.
You got
I'm starting to
negative points
regret giving
already.
you that Howard the Duck win.
That's the only one they have.
Yep.
Oh.
How about Mighty Ducks 2? Quack, quack, quack.
Yeah, I think the Mighty Ducks franchise holds up. I like all of them.
I do too. It's the same movie over and over again, but I like them all.
It's always a fun new cast of characters.
It is. I will say that I watched Ace Ventura When Nature Calls again as an older person, being able to put past the fact that it's more of like an exaggerated version of the first movie, and I found myself enjoying it way more than I did when I was younger.
By the way, your balls are showing. Bumblebee tuna.
Yeah.
How about Ghostbusters 2?
I like Ghostbusters too.
I like Ghostbusters too.
Yeah, no, I do.
Okay.
I do like Ghostbusters too. He is Vigo. It's
Brian says Hallea and I are working on original music because of you. Thanks,
All right.
Brian. That's awesome. Thanks
Hey.
for the shout out, man. And we can't wait to hear it because I'm a fan of her music.
Three Geeks little sound.
And your music.
And your music.
Well, Brian already knows I'm a fan of his.
That's the backhanded compliment there. Nice.
I mean,
hopefully Hallea helps Brian improve his music. Much needed improvement.
When you do a panel with a guy and he talks about armpit hair for 12 minutes and you're still friends with him after, that's love. And
I learned how to braid my armpit hair after that.
Brian knows how we feel about him.
Got some sweet dreads.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh.
We broke Mike. He was looking down and shaking his head.
Hair. That is.
I love how this is evolved.
Super gross. Yeah.
Mike is wondering why he decided to come on this morning. He should have just.
I know why I came on. I just love the spectrum of emotions that we've traveled upon here today. We started off really serious and somber. Then we got into a little bit more lighter fare, easy going, some laughs, and now we're just full on and weird.
This is what
that's perfectly fine.
Photo of Brian during COVID. He's just letting it go.
You say you have no other bits, but that's a great bit right there.
That is
random photos of Randy Quaid.
I need like a sexy photo of Mountain Man Randy Quaid, like
no, we don't.
With like a bear skin or something. You're like a fire.
Jason, you need to find pictures of Dennis Quaid with his wife. That's
if you guys all look below, Brian was left speechless by that.
Sorry, Brian.
I didn't even know you could send a comment without anything written in there.
Brian is a master of the internet.
So what is coming up for the Three Geeks podcast next week? I do not know which interviews I'm releasing this week, except for we got Larry Hankin coming out tomorrow. What? Mulan is next week. Yeah, we'll be talking about that next weekend.
You have an interview with Mulan?
No, we're gonna review Mulan.
Do you need me to sit in on that interview with Mulan?
Yes.
No time. They made us
shouldn't have mentioned it until after John got off.
Made a request for you not to be
it's
there.
It's in our
John.
contract.
I'm sorry. We told them, that you've been going to the classes, you've been doing really well.
I know, and then I relapsed.
It's no on this one, but maybe next time. Maybe next time.
Okay. All right.
Mulan 2, Mushu's Revenge. All you. Nice revenge. Do revenge.
How dare you forget me?
It was a gif of armpit hair. Brian.
It was blank.
Brian.
I've reached out to Brian. I told him to send me the photo, and I can throw it up on the screen for everybody to enjoy.
Don't. Please.
No. Please don't. We're almost.
Because that's what everybody needs. Pics of armpit hair.
Okay, would you rather look at that pic of armpit hair, or would you rather listen to the Taco Bell commercial?
Or Randy Quaid?
No, we already played it, John. We can't overdo it.
I'd take the beefy fish tacos.
Of course you would.
Because I get a kick out of hearing your voice go into that range. So
yeah,
that's really good range.
I could watch that Mike's review of the Emoji Movie, anytime. Like if we got to choose between those two things, like I really do.
Yeah, that was the best 5 minutes.
I think
that was very well done.
Commercial break from now on. I'm going to show YouTube videos from either our channel or Mike's channel, and just have Max laugh through them.
Yeah. Hey, you wanted a recording of Max's laughing. You just stick your phone in his face and play that.
Can we make a video of us watching Matt talk or listen to Matt talk eating tapioca pudding for 5 minutes?
Yeah.
We just dress up like old people.
All in gray suits. I like that idea, Max. Next week on the Three Geeks podcast, we review Mulan as if we were Matlock.
That just sounds horribly convoluted.
Most of the time.
Justin's idea.
I like it. It's Max's idea.
Yeah, I'll take credit for it.
We're gonna blackwash Matlock.
Huh.
I'm not gonna be here.
Oh my god!
Next year at Comic-Con.
Oh, the blackwashing is real. We're taking over.
Next, bring all kinds of shit.
When Cons return, Max as Matlock, Jason as Tyler Hudson. If we reverse characters, is that considered whitewashing Tyler, even though we're...
Yes. No, you can't take a black character and make him white. So if there's an already black character, he has to stay black.
Okay.
And then the white character can be made black, but there's no going the other way.
All right, Max and Rondell will be Matlock and his assistant next year at Comic-Con.
Matlock
Can you change them back, though?
Huh?
Like, if you make a white character black, can then you change them back to white?
Have they made a white Nick Fury again?
No, but they made a white Catwoman.
Damn.
Well, I know in the comics, like, you got white Nick Fury, and then black Nick Fury is his own character. Like, he's like Nick Fury Jr. or something like that.
Oh, is that a thing? I thought that was just
Ultimate Nick Fury. I think they tried to explain it away in because he's in mainstream Marvel, or he was for a while, and he was just like, oh, it's my long lost son, Nick Fury Jr. And he lost an eye too.
They pulled a Donkey Kong.
I guess I can't remember. I think that was the
If
story.
you're Nick Fury, then yes, you can.
Oh, even that's our baseline for character changing.
I mean, because I feel like Black Nick Fury was the most successful switch. From
Samuel Jackson can do whatever the heck Samuel Jackson.
Yeah, pretty much.
Basically, off Samuel Jackson, but he wasn't
Nicholas Joseph Fury Jr.
Yep, he's a thing.
Interesting.
Yeah, that whole change was because the guy Mark Millar was like, yeah, I want Fury to be played by Sam Jackson if ever there's a movie.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I know Ultimate Nick Fury was based off Sam Jackson.
Did they retcon his name? Like, was it due to some rednecks down south? Like, I want my Nick Fury white. So they found a way to incorporate the white one back into the universe?
Reminds me of, you know that cartoon James?
Not in Ultimate.
Yeah. Look out, he's coming through. He has a job to do as he rescues a girl. James Bond Jr. Sorry.
Yeah,
oh, jeez.
Jesus.
Dumb. I think it's just like, no, it's different. It's an alternate dimension. Nick Fury's black in this dimension. Like,
deal with it. And he's not real.
Right. Also, fictional character.
Well, they brought Miles Morales into the main, 616. So
also fictional. Also a series of lines on paper.
I saw a Venom where he was fighting Venom, and I don't know. I recently it made me think of Miles Morales, but very, very good art. So I'm kind of interested to read the Venom book if Miles Morales pops in there. That's pretty cool. I think it was issue 3 or 4.
Okay.
Is he 2047, 2099? Is that Miles Morales?
No.
Talk louder so the audience can hear you.
More for Max.
Yeah, so I really dig Miles Morales Spider-Man, and I want to see him around more, so I'm happy. But that's also not like his character isn't like a blackening of Spider-Man. Because like if they made Peter Parker black, that would be one thing. But he keeps his own whole character, so that's
there's a whole Spider-Verse, right? You can have any range of.
Is that the artwork, Max?
No, that's not
sweet,
the cover art that I saw, but that is a sweet looking panel.
Yeah. I guess we were talking about two different things, making characters different races and then also bringing in ultimate characters.
Max, you gave me a great idea. So Highlander remade, The Blackening.
Yeah.
You get your head cut off and then you turn black.
That seems real bad. That's
landmines.
Wait a minute,
landmines, dude.
Does your head go back on then, or what?
Or no, you cut somebody's head off and then you become black. Is that how it works? Like,
you become black. Okay.
the dead guy is black after he gets his head cut off.
No, you get
so
really dark.
You get a tiny bit darker. Okay, but you got to go kill the rest of the immortals, and.
This is not a remake revolution I want to be part of.
It's been done already too. So we did our remake revolution on the Highlander. Unless you want to remake the remake revolution.
Yes.
We can do it even better.
Wow.
We can rebuild him.
So yeah, if you're watching
us, stronger,
really good with designs, make us a Highlander cover called The Blackening.
or don't.
Don't.
You can just not
do that. It's okay. The world will keep on spinning without that.
Could not be presented like
even though you can, doesn't mean you should.
It's like Jurassic Park all over again.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Let's just keep it. Keep all the embryos where they're supposed to be.
Yeah. Speaking of which, there's another one of those coming, right?
Frogs.
Oh boy.
Let's leave it alone.
To turn frogs gay. What?
Jason, do you have a picture to show us?
Of what?
No, he
Picture to
doesn't.
show us.
It won't let me load it up. It won't.
Thank
it
you.
won't let me
You're
load
so
it.
close. Thank
Oh
you.
good.
Oh, good. Oh, darn. I mean,
Oh yeah.
shoot.
Damn.
If I get it, John, I will.
All right.
Oh man.
Relax. You don't have to be so excited about armpit hair. John was always like, saying that this wasn't my idea, but by the excitement you had about the picture,
He's the one pushing for it. Yeah. Yes, Brian, I remember. Yeah, if you remember, Madonna was the villain in our remake. Found out how perfectly she fits into the role. Nailed it.
right now I got to look this picture up.
Oh my god.
I can't believe this is what you want to end it on.
Yeah.
5 minutes left, and we're gonna figure a real weird
no. Can we please
my.
Chuck Norris and his Karate Commandos?
Oh, speaking of which,
Oh,
nice, Dan.
I found Chuck Norris
picture.
as a Karate Commando.
Nice.
How many points of articulation? Or is it just like rotating?
No, he's got things and stuff, and he does a cool little backflip.
He has things. He has things and stuff.
Hi, Jean-Claude Van Damme's fighting your Chuck Norris.
No. Chuck Norris will win, sir, because he is Chuck Norris.
He probably will,
He
because
hates-
this Van Damme can't do the splits.
Then is it truly Van Damme?
No, but it looks like him.
No.
There was someone posted on Twitter this morning or yesterday, like they're like, just remember, this is the opening scene for Van Damme in Double Impact, and it's him doing the splits in the yoga class or whatever.
Yeah.
Double Impact is by far my favorite Van Damme movie.
Is it really? I tried watching it. I didn't like
I
it.
don't know why.
I gotta go with Cyborg.
Cyborg's a good one.
Mine's
Does JCVD stand? Does that count? Because that's my.
Van Damme movie.
Yeah,
I'd say so. Yeah,
I like JCVD a lot.
I actually liked him a lot as the bad guy in Expendables too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He kicked a knife into Liam Hemsworth.
and he could actually act. So
Yeah.
I enjoyed Street Fighter because M. Bison did such a good job. Acting him.
Raul Julia.
Oh, Julia, yeah.
of course.
Of course.
It can levitate a bullet train from wherever to Osaka.
Poor Raul Julia. Like he was such a great actor, and he goes out on that.
Bison was great.
Oh my god.
Another actor taken too soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He died right
Yeah.
after the movie, right?
It was, yeah.
Yeah, that was his last movie.
Oh man, it's so shameful.
He was so good.
Like,
Yeah.
Overdrawn at the memory bank.
Oh,
Classic.
dude. I was
Mother,
watching that the other night.
my nuts. My nuts? Is that what you said?
There was what
That's the
I can't
root.
remember what Clint Eastwood movie was Raul Julia in where he was the bad guy.
Oh.
We have the internet.
Oh shoot, what was it? It was really good.
is it like a 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon website where you can type in two actors and it
I
will
would
show
love
you
that.
everywhere they've converted?
Yeah.
It's
Am I secretly?
It should be.
it's always Trevor's.
Speaking
I
of
need to copyright that.
speaking of Clint Eastwood, check out the interview we had with Larry Hankin on the
Oh,
Geeks
yeah.
podcast tomorrow.
John, is it the rookie?
He's got some cool stories. You said the rookie?
Is it the rookie? I don't know. I just googled it.
Yeah,
yes,
it's
the
I
rookie.
think it's
That's
the
it.
rookie.
Okay,
Yes, that
okay,
was the movie I was talking about. Yes.
That's with young Charlie Sheen as well.
Yeah. It was a good movie. It was really good. I liked it.
It'll never beat the Deadpool though. For
Tiger Blood was in it. All right.
Tiger Blood.
Deadpool with Ryan Reynolds?
no.
The Deadpool with Jim.
This was
with,
the
Carrey.
with Jim Carrey playing Axl Rose. Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. Full circle. We're back again.
There we go.
It's like we never left, Mike. It's like we never left.
Exactly.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in.
I've been here the whole time.
On Patreon. Check out all of our social medias. Check out John at pvdcast.com. Lots of cool stuff coming John's way here very soon.
And if I may interject for a minute, Jason, Tuesday, September 1st, you can pick up a copy of 614 magazine around the Columbus area, and you will see that I will be in it, along with Victor Dandridge and World's Greatest Comics, as we were part of a little article that was written in August. So wherever you find that magazine, pick one up, give it a read, if you will, please.
I will have a more professional commercial for this next week, but if you're looking for a publicist anywhere in America or outside, contact me directly and I'll get you in touch with Steve Joyner. He's doing lots of good things in the publishing world, so for sure. And then check out Mike at youtube.com/Mike McGTV, where you can find that wonderful emoji review and so many other great things. Check out his Task Force X video as well.
Task Force X.
Yeah.
Here comes Task Force X. Anyway,
It worked somehow, yeah.
Three Geeks Podcast. Everybody have a great day.
Cycle your droids.
See ya.
And then we talk over the credits. Yay! There's our names. We have
And
a
John Orlando.
We have a Patreon.
Is it like New Mutants? Is any of these misspelled?
I don't think so.
Oh, you misspelled my name.
Jason.
Matt Talk.
Vivid.
PBD Cast.
Oh, would it be more Irish from
Make it to
there?
the-
Oh,